minutes while I'm waiting for people to find me, because I had this set up and shared the link, and then I came in and the date was wrong and the settings were on something strange. And so I guess I'm just going to wait over here until some people come in. So while I'm doing that, I was looking at my calendar and my notes, because I was. For anybody who comes on and understands about biblical holy days, today is Pentecost. And so happy holy day, Pentecost, if that is for you. And happy Father's Day to anybody who's a dad, a father, and for who that's like important, because for some people that's important, and for some people, okay. So my handyman person just canceled for today. Hi, Ken. Hi, Iris. Okay, a couple of people starting to find me. I don't know what happened. I had this all set up, guys, and the link I put on Facebook, it was all set up early. And I came out to hit the button to start it, and it went into screencast mode, which I never set up. And there was no way to get out of screencast mode, which means you see a little tiny picture of me and then my whole phone. And you have access to anything I do, whether it's a password or a saying hi to a friend or a whatever. You can see everything. And so, but there was no way to shut it off. And then it actually said June 12th on it instead of the 16th. And yes, there was a cell phone signal. So so I've started over. Hi, Donna R. I'm so glad you guys know how to come find me. Hey, Mary. Yeah, here we go again. I don't understand how that happens. So my phone this week, being a free phone, let's put that in there first. I feel like, I know I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I feel like the government uses us, or somebody, the big companies, use us as guinea pigs, because I'm techie enough. I used to work for IT departments for the state of Virginia and for IBM. And anyways, my point being, I had all the settings on my phone set so that if there were software updates to be done, I got notified, but I got to choose when it happened. And the last 2 or 3 months, it overrides the settings I'm able to set. So it just updates when it wants to update. And when it does, different things happen to my phone. So I have had a couple of odd spam calls that got through. Somehow Google has decided that I can't have my Google Voice number anymore. So if you had my 347 number for me, it doesn't exist anymore as of this week. And I did all the things I was supposed to do to be able to keep that number. So those things confuse me and make me just feel like there's a lot of my life that is out of my control. So when the software updated itself without my permission this week, it deleted 4 of my apps off my phone. And now it says that 2 of them are not compatible with my phone. And the other two, it says I don't have space for them. And it won't read my SD card that's in the. So as I'm getting ready to choose a phone service that I will have to pay for, because I just don't want to pay the free phone people for more service when I get so many limits put on me. And one of the limits that they put on me was, I can't use a VPN. I can't travel very far. I don't even know what, but it's annoying. So it's part of the factor in the fact that I can pay them $20 a month and have unlimited service, which is what I did this month. And I may need to do it another month. But I may have to choose to pay twice that amount so I can have some more freedoms with my own communications. So, happy Father's Day. Let me get on this. Happy Father's Day. Thank you. I tried to get out of the problem, out of the settings. Couldn't really manage it, so I shut it off and started a new one. And that's the best I could do. Anyways, so good morning, everybody that's here. Iris, Kenneth, Donna R, Mary, Catherine, good morning. Anybody else? Nope, that's about it. Let's make sure that I have live chat up. Please remember, I've got super thanks and super chats, and I think I set the button when I came back on so that you can do the little scrolly up of hearts or hugs or whatever it is. I forgot what it's called. Crap, I can't remember what it's called. This stuff, when stuff gets weird on you, and it throws me off kilter. So, and right about the same time all that was happening, my handyman had to change the schedule for the week, so I won't see him until Tuesday morning, super early. Tuesday might be a busy day. I don't want to say too much online, but it might be busy. So happy Father's Day, dads, fur dads, fathers, sperm donors, whoever the heck. If you help the baby be a baby and you are born male, there you go. It's a good day to say something about it. My father, you know, I'm glad he was around because I got born. I did grow up with him around the house and around the house. My mom and dad were together when I was growing up. So what do I want to say about him? I don't know what I want to say about him. He gave me my little eyes and my freckles. He gave me my red hair. And probably the white hair too. Yeah, Beth, take two. You missed. You could go back and find out what happened, but take two. I'm glad you're here, Beth. So my dad, what else did he give me? His name. The ability to tan. He gave me some work ethic. Wasn't always fun the way he gave it to me, but he did. He taught me that it was important for me to be honest, and he taught me to be careful with my finances. He didn't teach me how exactly, but he taught me to be careful. He also taught me that life can be hard and that you better pull yourself together and figure it out. Anyway, then there's my nephew Jason, who sacrificed his Father's Day weekend in 2020 to come close in the cabin that I'm currently in. And without him, I would not be able to be here. I might have been like back in a funny farm. I don't know. Um, uh, that was a really hard year. And for Jason and his family to come camp at this very rustic off grid situation, and they don't like off grid very much. And for Jason to put the roof on and put the windows in and get this ready so that I could be okay. I'm so grateful. So I'm grateful to him and his family both. It's a Father's Day memory. And then my son, who Father's Day is really, really special to him. He just loves being a dad. He has a bunch of kids. But right now he lives with his wife and daughter, and in the town where he has two sons with a baby mama. And I'm grateful that he is consciously being careful to be a father and dad in their lives. So that's what I'm going to say about that. It's also Pentecost for anybody who knows about ancient Old Testament biblical holy days. And so interesting. I won't say much about that, but Pentecost being the day when the Holy Spirit was more defined. And that's about all I'm going to say about that. So, hi, G. I just see you're coming in. So, um, yeah, I had trouble getting in, guys. When I started it, I set up the live to start, 2 hours ago. I set it up. And so when I come back, I just click the button to go live and it just works. Well, when I clicked the button, it said it was going to screencast, which screencast makes me a little tiny picture of me at the bottom and you see my whole phone. Well, that's great, I guess, if I was trying to do it on purpose, but I didn't press any buttons to be doing a screencast. And I would have played with that and showed you guys some pictures or something, but I can't trust when that happens what the crap is going on. So, and there's no way out of it. I didn't hit any screencast buttons. So I had to just shut it down and start over. So here we are. So happy Father's Day, all you guys. Let's see. I had stuff I was going to talk about. Totally, I was redoing the list and looking at my week. Okay. I buy these little calendar books that you wait a minute, that you get to design the month yourself. And so that way I can put my Sundays at the first of the week like they're supposed to be, and my Sabbaths at the end of the week like they're supposed to be. And anyway, and then in the back, there's quite a few pages of just lined paper. And so I find that I can like fill up a book in a heartbeat because I like the tactile feel of a pen on paper. And so I try to keep lists that are of some kind of important kind of thing that I'll come and go from in the back of this one. But then I always have a scratch pad, scribble book, whatever it is that I'm currently messing around in. And, I'll doodle in it ideas and, make lists that I never go back and, okay, I was thinking about the tracker and it's a silly picture. And, I make lists of things that I will go back in a week or two and go, well, that was dumb. I don't want to do that. So I had started a list of things where I was going to talk about, and then that all happened, and I don't know what I'm talking about. So, y'all, when you are When you know that you have a subject you want me to talk about. Hi, Jeremy. And I see some other. Oh, that's Goop Dog. That's you, Jeremy. Okay. Um, when y'all get a minute and you have a question or a subject you really want to know about, you want me to talk about something, put three uppercase Q's so I can see it a little quicker. And I need to be more of a lister. I hear you. List, you know, it comes and goes in its usefulness, but sometimes just getting it out of my head helps. And I love typing. I have a portable keyboard that I can type onto software on the phone. But when my phone keeps updating itself and deleting my apps, I can't be guaranteed that I have a place to type whatever I'm typing and go back and look at it. So that's sitting in a bag right now. Okay, so I was gonna just kind of mention that, in my life, in my list stuff, years ago, I went through this really big life change. And during that time, I decided to make a list similar to what project managers do when they're working on a project. So I decided that I need to come up with 3 to 5 items about Lesa's life that were important. And so as I started, I went, oh, okay, well, body, mind, and spirit, that's a good place to start. Oh, finances, we could add to it. And we could add to it maybe general lifestyle thing. So I kept messing with the idea and journaling until I kind of got it down to these ideas, right? So, in a general sense, my general lifestyle idea, thing, goal, the way I kind of carry myself is to travel light and often. But it also is, well, this other piece of it travels throughout a number of these, but the living outdoors, living outside as much as possible. But that follows down into the other parts of the list. Then with the finances, I want to live debt free completely. Well, I'm still working on that. It'll be early next year before I'm debt free again for the third time. But that's because I borrowed money to fix cars and I shouldn't have done that. So I don't recommend that anybody borrows money to fix cars. I recommend that if you need to borrow money to fix a car, you need to find a place to sit still, whatever. And then in the body, mind, and spirit side of things, my body, I want to be active my entire life. I do not want to be in I don't want a mobility scooter thing. I'm not going out in a scooter chair. I've been paralyzed, not doing it. So I build exercise into my days. I live outside as much as possible because it helps me with my movement in my body. Yeah. Am I in the best shape right now? No. I've been depressed. I've been inside all winter. I'm not loving it, but it's improving. Okay. But I'm still active and I'm not paralyzed. So, um, w- with that being said, I have to be careful of my diet and all of my goals with my health. And that's why we talk about my health so much because of my body side of that list. Then, with my mind side of that list, that includes community and positive thinking. And that I work at making sure that if I say, well, that's, I'm outside and I hit my thumb with a hammer and I go, Lesa, that's so stupid. I catch myself and I go, yeah, not stupid, but maybe move your thumb next time. Or don't smack the hammer that so hard or whatever it is. And find a way to turn things into adventures and more positive. And then on the spiritual side or the spirit side of things, made a big point for myself, out of living my beliefs. That's where my ethics, my way of carrying myself comes into stuff. So that's a list. I don't know why I was going through that list this morning, but I was, because How am I doing on those things? Well, I'm doing pretty dang good. Yeah, I want to travel more. Man, I wish I could go spend a week in the woods. And I live in the woods. Isn't that silly? Yeah, it's road trip time or something, but I can't yet. So I'm being responsible. I'm doing my turtle steps, and you know, uh, just keep going. So we collectively be careful moving the phone today. Miss Wendy napping on the cot over here. Net pillow pretty. My son needed a pillow for when he was here. And when we went to Walmart, he bought me a pretty pillow so he could leave it behind. Um, and I can't show you the kitties because they moved. But Wendy and the kitties are playing together now. Now, this morning, I had to call her inside. She got a little excited when I was busy working. I was inside, she was outside with the kitties, and they were playing and having a good time. So I was letting them kind of be. And I turned around and looked, and she's got one kitty by the ear, and she's dragging it around on the ground. I was like, no, 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 no. You come inside. And she just looked at me like, what did they do wrong? I'm like, you can't drag the kitties around the yard. The things I've had to deal with this week. They're more like, is Wendy going to drag the kitties around? All right, let me go look. I saw some cues. So let's see what's up here. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I saw where Beth was helping up. Oh, that's wonderful. Catherine says that her dad wasn't around much, but that she married the best father for her children. Homer had got the best father award. That's wonderful, Catherine. Okay. So part of this week's stuff that I was working on before my phone decided to override my settings for updating its software and deleted apps on me. One of the apps it deleted was the app that I used to edit videos. I had taken a quite involved video of an unboxing of something that arrived as a on loan gift from a friend, one of y'all. I have a lot of video footage, but I can't edit it. And I need to go back and watch it and see whether I can just put it out the way it is. Otherwise, I'm going to have to redo the video with the idea that it can't get edited because my phone won't allow me to have that software now. So frustrations, but I'm still alive and kicking and minor. Okay. So it's a very lovely on loan gift. I hope I'm saying it in a way that makes sense to y'all. But anyways, yeah. So that's something I was working on this week. I thought it was going to be done and out. I had planned to have that out on Thursday. And I had started to work on editing it when the phone updated itself and locked me out for about 7 hours on Wednesday, I think it was. I don't remember, but it was like so. Okay, so thank you, Beth, for catching up. Mary, that's wonderful. I think that's what I need too. You just took a couple of nights off property. Just away is helpful. Yeah. Yeah. I think so. And I think I could use a couple of nights away. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Hey, Shadow Wolf, how you doing? Good to see you guys. So let's see. So all that stuff aside, I hope I don't get interrupted while we're doing the video, but if we do, we do. It's the way it is. So when we got food boxes a couple weeks ago, and it was new to me again, because it's been a while since I had gotten food boxes because of my dietary choices and things of that nature. I feel like I look really tired because I do. Anyway, we got a lot of fruit and things that I wasn't used to having. And look at that spot. I still have that spot. Oh, I'm waiting on the allergy tests. They haven't given me the results yet. They were supposed to be ready on the 10th. And when the physician's assistant called, they weren't ready. They were behind on all the allergy testing results. So she said she'd check Monday. Anyways, now food box again. So back when we got this food box, there was a whole bunch of pineapple in it. Now I used to grow pineapples when I lived in Costa Rica, and you'd love the pictures of that. But anyways, so when I tasted the pineapple, I could pick out the pieces that were good. I don't dare shut that stuff off, guys. Anyway, so I could pick out the pieces that were good, but a lot of it wasn't that good. And it wasn't spoiled yet, but it was turning. So, me being the resourceful, smart, whatever else person I am, whatever, I don't do much vinegars myself, but I made a jar of vinegar with the pineapple. Yes, those black spots are raisins. I didn't have any sugar here and I was out of raw honey. So I put a few raisins in. I found out I can eat raisins, but I can also eat too many raisins because they just tasted so freaking good. Anyway, so I made vinegar, and because it's been so hot, this one made vinegar faster than normal. Usually it takes about a month, month and a half, depending on the temperature. But it's been so pretty hot here that it's been very hot. So this did its job fast. It's only been a couple of weeks and it's vinegar. It's not wine. It's not, whatever. It's vinegar. And I don't know how. I only have a handful of jars here anymore, cannon jars. But the lids don't even fit at all. So this lid is kind of, just on there with a paper towel. But I contacted one of the neighbors, actually the neighbor Chris who got the chickens, and asked her if she liked vinegars. Did she want some pineapple vinegar? She was pineapple vinegar. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I want some. So she's supposed to bring me some jars by, or bottles or something that I can put it into sometime today. So she'll get that because vinegar can then turn to just rotting stuff. You got to kind of just watch it. It's not a hard process, but it is something you got to watch. And once it gets past its fizzy, bubbly stage, when you watch it, it can then start going watery. That's when you start to lose it. So, anyways, I've been watching that. Let's see. Some more black coffee this morning, guys. That cup's dirty. Yeah, you can see it. Okay. My cup blew off the table, and so I have more dings in it, but they're not dangerous. Oh, and I put my little teapot thing on the fire for the first time. I'd been keeping it only on the alcohol, and I decided to just let it go. Hey, Bernie, hi, welcome. Hi, Gorilla. Is it something? I can't make that out today. So I don't know what we need to talk about. I've been busy. like busy, busy. So Wendy and the kittens busy. That's been going on. Oh, we got rain. Um, so we had one night it rained. How wonderful. This, I'm going to try to turn the camera around. You're going to see, okay, my backpack, it's a wall. Now, see the, oh, come freaking on. It's one of those days, eh? Don't touch the, okay. I was going to show you something right outside the door, right here. Okay, that's, okay. Okay, so it rained one night, then, and because of the work that my son did on the back patio, we sacrificed a really nice tarp that I had gotten for camping to put on the roof of the patio. It helps with the shade, and the way he installed it, now I can leave the window open that's the closest to the bed. And because it's the kind of tarp it is made out of, the fabric it's made out of, it, the raindrops sound like rain on a tent. And darn, I checked when he was here to see if I could buy another one, and I could. And so I went to buy it the other day. I was thinking I need to be careful with my money right up till almost the 15th. I need to make sure there's enough before I spend $28 on another tarp so that we can finish that, so that the whole thing is kind of waterproof, right? And I went back out Wednesday, Thursday, I don't know what day it was. They don't have any more gray ones. I'm just like, no. No more gray. Oh. So I either have to wait that one out or figure it out. So it was nice to get a little rain. And then the next day we had quite a bit of rain, which meant that I didn't get quite as much solar coming in. I don't even, after the phone did this again, I'm like, don't touch the freaking phone today. Let everything just be the way it is. So, oh, pineapple vinegar is the bomb. So let's see what else. Something I was gonna kind of, I was redoing the list and gonna throw it away. So let me look at the old list that I was gonna throw away. Oh yeah, I was just making a comment that I really live outside more than inside. That's my preferred lifestyle. So when I get stuck inside a building, oh, good Lord, is that depressive and whatever else. And so most of y'all know that I've been reorganizing both my business, SimplyLesa, because come January next year, I can make money. So I've been reorganizing the business side of things as well as everything here at the off-grid cabin. Part of the reorganization is to further simplify my life outside and my simple living. And now that my son has come to visit, to also make reasonable improvements that I already was working on them for just the basics of simple living. But now that I know that my son wants to come vacations and things like that, it's like, okay, now if I want to replace that little set of solar twinkle lights that were over the hammock area and the ones that are up there now stopped working, now it's time to go ahead and spend the extra 15, 20, $30, whatever it is. It's probably $20 for a new set and put them back up because those are enjoyable and I miss them. And I thought they were working, but they kind of did this blinky thing, and I can't find a battery to replace. So I'm thinking that rather than just buy batteries, I'm thinking I need a new set of lights out there. So I did put that in my wish list because this is my birthday month, by the way. It also is the month when my Chevy Tracker broke down, blew the engine last year. So I've been a whole year since that happened, and there's pieces of me that I've struggled to find again, if you know what I mean, kind of. So, oh, B, Bonnie, hi! It's so good to see you. So let's see. So I've been working in the shower house a lot. And I know in some of the video pictures that I've put in our group out on Facebook, it looks wonky and bad. And there was stuff all over the yard where I'm like in the reorganizing process, which is, it looks like a construction zone or something. It looks like a tornado went through while you're in the middle of the mess. Well, it's improving. It's getting better all the time. I can see the vision for where it's actually going, but like one of the walls was ripply because the T111 I had been laying flat out in the sun, and it got rained and snowed on, and then the sun dried it out, and it was just ripply. And so we stuck it on the wall, and I was like, I'll figure out a way to straighten it out later. Well, the other day I was able to take another board I had on the inside and screw it to it, and it sucked it in. And so that's way more flat. I got some places to trim with a jigsaw so I can like suck those in. So by the time it gets paint, it'll look fine. But right now it's kind of, I'm trying to use everything I got and not have to buy stuff. Stuff's too expensive. The last couple of months have just been financially challenging. Being able to buy enough food and keep it and whatever else. I'm checking the refrigerator. It's on. Don't worry about it, Lisa. So I bought a marine foot pump for the shower. So I had already finally installed the marine hand pump on the sink, which we decided to move in there. So now there's a nice big square, big shower area that I'm going to put a curtain on. Then there's the double bowl sink that had come out of an RV with a drain to a gray water bucket, basically. So it's a 5-gallon bucket that has broken cement blocks and stone and stuff in the bucket that's partially buried in the ground. It will eventually be all the way buried, but my drain, I made a mistake, so I need to, it's really soft digging right now. So I need to fix a little section of the drain to make it a little bit lower. So the way this is going to work out in the end is I'll have paver stones as the floor. And so you'll be able to walk in on ground level to that sink is straight ahead of the door. And then to the left is a little area where I just moved the kitties' bedding so they can sleep in there and feel safe. And above their bedding, which is milk crates up on legs, then I'll be able to put a little tiny, I've been calling it, now this is not the right name, but a little tiny Costa Rican washing machine. Okay. A Latin American washing machine. It's the 2 tubs and it runs on very little power. I'm going to there's one that's $85 that I'm looking at. It's not in my wish list for you guys. It's in my wish list for myself, but it's the little one. It only needs 200 watts of power to run the power part of it. But you can actually take a bucket of water or a hose to dump the water in it. You don't have to like permanently install it, but it will fit on top of where the cat beds are. And then that makes a really nice little area in there. I've been able to use that copper roofing that I got for free from the factory in Snowflake. I'll be able to use that as the backsplash around that area. Eventually, we'll paint inside and make it pretty. And then, so the sink and the washer area will all be ground level, and you'll step one step down into the shower area. Shower area will also have the paver stone, paver blocks rather, and then I'll put a drain in that. That will drain in that same bucket, which is why that bucket's not buried yet. And then I don't have to worry about water on top of the ground, which calls animals, snakes, and just makes a muddy mess. And so I don't have to worry about that. But that will come with time, because a little at a time, I can go buy a couple of those 1 foot square, inexpensive paver blocks, put them in the car and bring them home. You know, when I run to Walmart, right next door is Home Depot and Lowe's in Show Low. And so I can just run in and I can buy 2 or 3 at a time and bring them back. And when I have enough, then I can buy the cement to use like grout, and I can make that into a little better. So I got the marine foot pump for the shower. So now both the sink and the shower are attached to the IBC tote, and they can just pull water out whenever you, as long as there's water in the tank. You just pump the pump with your foot. It was a little slippery last night, but that's because I didn't have it screwed down. So the foot pump needs to be screwed to something. So I have to do that. And the way I have the hose that goes up to be the shower head, which is wonderful. I took a shower last night in there, okay? It's not attached to the wall yet. I have a thing, but it was like, I was so excited last night that I was like, I just want to use it. I don't care that I didn't finish it yet. I'm just going to hold the hose with one hand and I'm going to do this because I want to use it. And so I did. And then it is so nice to take a shower at home in your own space. No power, it's your foot pumps it. No power necessary, no limit of only 2 gallons of water, only enough to really wash your hair or whatever. And so I just enjoyed it thoroughly. And then I let my hair dry naturally like I used to, like was my normal. And I finger combed it, which takes time, but it's very relaxing. Okay, that's a whole thing. Hi, Donna Kay. That's a thing. I could teach some of you how. It's easier to teach you than, well, I could say it, but basically what you're doing is you're using your fingers to detangle your hair, and then eventually, that's why it's softer looking, because I didn't put a comb or a brush in it, which is, that's the balm. And it's such a relaxing historical thing. It's like it's like an ancestral, it's like grounding. There's something to it. And there's something to being able to sit with a couple of people that you love and finger combing each other's hair. It's just, incredible. I don't know. It makes a connection with another person that is just so tender and loving. it's a really good thing. But so for me to be able to feel relaxed enough with no pressure, no anxious, oh my God, if I'm not right beside Aussie with the kitties, something's gonna happen. Oh, there's not enough food. Oh, the solar didn't stay. The refrigerator turned itself off again. You know, without all of that pressure, things have been running a little more smoothly for a few days. Um, I do have a couple of problems to solve, and if you guys want to help solve those problems, I'll tell you about them in a minute. But um, one of them is that I need an adapter cable to run from one of my Anderson plug solar powered things to a different battery bank. And the battery bank came with a cable, but the cable is only on its proprietary solar panels, which are not the kind that I could just put up on the roof of the patio. If I could, I would. But they're more just the carry these panels in case you want to stick them out on the ground kind of panels, not a mount them panels. And I have two different sets of solar panels on the roof of the back patio. I could use either of those sets, but only one of those sets was modified to have Anderson plugs on it. The other one they didn't modify. Okay, it was my son. I thought he modified them both, so they both had Anderson plugs. He didn't do that. So I need to modify the one with an Anderson plug. And I'm talking the red and black Anderson plugs. And then online you can buy an adapter that's an Anderson plug to, well, they have one that's like an octopus thing that can go, that has many different tips. So the many different tips on the octopus one includes the specific Anderson plug that goes on the new battery pack. That battery pack, once it is attached to one of these solar panel kits on the roof, I could stop watching the refrigerator so much. So that's, I need one Anderson plug cable modified so that both of them are Anderson plugs. And then I need the adapter for the, yeah, that's what I need. So I haven't put an adapter out on my wish list, but I could do that. Because I know this month sometimes people buy me birthday presents, even though I don't keep birthdays. But what does an Anderson plug look like? Without turning the phone around, hang on a second. Hang on. Because, oh, I could just pick this cord up. Don't shake it too much. Whoops, come on. Because I don't want to turn the camera around or anything. Nope, I can't do that. Okay, how am I going to? Oh, I don't want to move the phone. I'm so, sometimes we get scared to move the phone where I live. Okay, all right. Can I tip? Poop head. When I did this last time, that's an Anderson plug. Now, there's more than one kind. This one, the red and black one, I don't remember what the wattage or voltage or whatever is. There's another kind that's yellow and another one that's orange. And I need a different color one for the back of that newer battery pack. I were you able to see that? Because I couldn't see what I was doing. A little higher. Okay. How can I? I'm trying not to move the freaking phone. I'm scared to even turn it around. Let's see. If I turn it around and let's see. That is an Anderson plug. Okay. Crap, that was hard to do. That's an Anderson plug. All right. Okay. And I didn't turn the refrigerator off. So my son modified the cord that plugs my refrigerator in. And so he modified it by changing the thing into the end into an Anderson plug and added a fuse, an inline fuse. And then we changed, using the Anderson plug, we changed the male plug and found one that fits into the current rock pals better. Anyways, it works better. So, okay. So let's see what else. So that's okay. So that's one thing I've been working on, is that I would like to have a sealed AGM battery that would just live at the cabin and that that was not mobile, didn't go on the road. I have one in my Amazon wish list if somebody was in the mood. But most of the issue I've had with the refrigerator has been basically solved by larger battery being able to support it. Because the 300-watt rock pals, if I don't have sun for one day, the refrigerator cuts off. And so I can't do that. And so that's why I'd like to have a sealed AGM for the cabin. And then the portable systems, I love them for putting them in the vehicles. Right now, kind of holding off a little on what system is going to work in the tracker, because I have the Cascadia 4x4 solar system. And I'm trying so hard not to ruin the whole video thing. But okay, so somebody sent me, they said I could use it for 9 months, more or less. It's not mine, it's theirs. But they sent me the EcoFlow Delta battery pack that's 1,024 watt hours. I think I'm saying that right. 110 watt portable panel. And when it shows up, it hasn't showed up yet, the inverter generator thingy that's new that they made. And it's not mine, it doesn't belong to me, but it's on loan to me for me to use as if it were mine for the next 9 months. And so I was asked to do an unboxing video and talk about it and report how it's doing. And then I've had the problem with the phone and the software app that I had for editing my video. So I may put out I feel like it's poorly done. I may put out a video that's not edited just to be right with that person. Okay, so that yeah, the big problems of the shade is I've already got the shade improved, so that's not really any problem. Um, let's see what else. Yeah, the shade has improved. The getting wet every time you walk out the back door is improved by that shade tarp. As soon as that shade tarp comes back available, I'm buying one. I'm not waiting. I feel silly that I waited because I want it to match. That little bit of OCD. Okay, I don't have OCD, but that little bit of I want things to look good makes me go, no, I want the same one. So I don't know what I got to do about that. So hopefully they'll manufacture some more or they'll get some more from wherever they're getting them. And I'll be able to get a gray one so that it will match. Okay, what else? So Alex isn't coming today or tomorrow. He evidently is a little short on gas money. So, um, and it's been hot. Normal OCD. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. It would just drive me crazy if it doesn't like match enough. Um, I did talk to Tiny this week, Tiny GPS, the Moose Squad people, and they actually have that same set of solar that I have outside. So I have one Harbor Freight set, and then I have one really old 70-watt panel that just works. They have the whole set just like that. So another 65 or 70-watt panel and another set of Harbor Freight. So when they get around, that'll go on the other side of the patio and it'll be all matchy up there on the roof, which is kind of nice. And that'll give me a little more. We'll be able to hook the two Harbor Freights together and make a bigger amount coming in, but we'll work that out. Things are working just fine the way they are. You don't need a lot in order to do. If you're willing to work with a little lower tech, a little less than some people think is normal, you don't need a lot. I knew people down in Central America that lived on islands that ran all the power for their house and everything on their island was one car battery from the 60s. And they made their own solar panels. So I'm just saying, you don't have to have what you think you got to have in order to make stuff work. So I am starting to pay attention to, pardon me, pay attention to how much water I'm using because with the pumps and the cats and I and cleaning up and I can finally wash some things, doing laundry, keeping an eye on the water tank because I'm not sure how I'm going to fill that yet. The rain, the new gutter that my son showed me how to put gutters on. I got a half a 5-gallon bucket full of water, but I didn't put it out there in the beginning. I was like, oh crap, I forgot. There's no downspout. Let me go put a bucket under there. So, I could have caught more water. Um, so yeah, so the guttering thing is kind of budget friendly. It's not super expensive, but I still feel like I got to take it a little pieces at a time because I don't want to get ahead of myself and which thing is most important next. Because so now I got the water, I can wash dishes, I can fix a meal, I can take a bath, and I can wash my clothes. Hallelujah. So with all of that, and the cats and the dog are helping with the kittens, and the dog are helping with the rats. The bucket traps are catching the other night the bodies. Oh my God. It's hard to dump that, okay? It's hard. And it's hard for me because I'm trying to conserve water. So sometimes I'm scooping them out and burying them. Oh, and sometimes I can't do the dirty water anymore. I gotta dump it. Yeah, ew. Um, but I'm trying not to have to fill the buckets with water every single night. The other day, I think there were 35 in the buckets, and usually I get 6 or 7 a night. So it's been kind of rodent heavy around here, and the smell and the flies. Yeah, yeah. And I only have one fly thingy outdoors right now. I get the rescue canisters from the flies for the flies. And so, yeah, that's kind of a new, but you got to do something. So, yeah, water conservation. So I need to get the downspout stuff over to the little black barrel before we get too much rain. So I'll put the money into that because that will help so much. But I need to watch how much is in the IBC tote because that doesn't have rainwater going into it yet. Someday it will, but yet no. And so I'm trying to do projects with the stuff I've already got here. So I know this sounds, we have both. And I have a lot of rats as well as mice. So I need to be careful. I also have a lot of chipmunks. So I need to be careful and actually be saying rodents. And if I'm not careful to make sure that the songbirds have water, they'll get in the buckets after a drink, and that's sad. So I have a waterer for songbirds, and they all know to go there, or during the daytime they can get in the cat and dog water dish. So yeah, I have pack rats. Anyways, but I also have mice and things. So back to what was I saying? So the water stuff. So because I'm trying to do projects with things I've already got here, use up what I got. I'm going to go ahead. Nobody came. I tried to give away all those little half blocks that came from the original Witchwell Ranch. Nobody came after them. I'm going to go ahead and make the stacks of block, fill them with sand so that the pack rats won't build a house in them. But I'm going to make the appropriate racks, stacks for 3 more IBC totes to sit on top of. I already knew where I was going to do this. So I just decided that's another project I can do anytime I feel like it because I can level them out. I can work at it. If it's hot and ugly out, I can, do a little bit and then tomorrow do some more or whatever. But I'm going to start marking that out and making a spot for 3 more IBC totes. As I can afford them, IBC totes are generally in our area. Not everywhere, because in Tucson and in Kingman, I understand you can pick them up for like $50, but you can't here. So here, the general price is between $100 and $170 for an IBC tote. And if you want a new one, you're paying $200 for it. So I just will keep my eyes open for when I can afford an IBC tote. I'll buy another one, and then I'll have a place to already place it. And then as the gutters get up, they can start being diverted over there. Does that make sense? Yeah. Stupid morning? My stupid morning? Yeah. This conversation is kind of all over the place, right? Oh, got an old window screen to filter out the critters. Windows, Well, yeah, I could, but I don't want to. It's so gross. Gross. It's just gross. Okay. And so it's just a job I have to do, but it's gross. And so I only have 3 buckets out around and whatever. Um, hey, Tom. So all of that is the future. I won't have to worry about water. Okay. But right now it's like I got to watch that tank and I want to make sure it's full before monsoons come in case I don't get any more gutter up there during the monsoons. Um, but basically, it's so much easier to do a lot of things. Now, I got one more problem to solve, and that is that when I want to cook food or make my coffee, the alcohol stoves, the heat fuel for the alcohol stoves is more expensive than you guys propane. But most all y'all know I'm allergic to propane. End of story. So I can't do that. And nobody lives here with me, so it's not like I got a backup safety thing. So the alcohol stoves that I use inside, they work. I've been setting them. You can see behind me. I've been setting them on the wood stove, but they heat the house up just as much as anything else. And then outside, I'm using my Kelly kettle. That's fire. That's flame. I'm careful. It's a very small chimney. I stand over it the whole time. It only takes a few minutes to make coffee in the morning, that kind of a thing. But I really want slash need something with a stovepipe and a spark arrestor that the wind won't affect when I need to cook something and it's hot out or there's wind. And so I really wanted to put a wood stove on the back patio that I could cook on that had a stovepipe up away from things. Well, I haven't found one. It's got to be cheap to free. Yeah, a guide gear cast iron stove from, is it Sportsman's Warehouse that sells those? Amazon has them too. They're about $125 or something like that. That'd be nice, but I remember trying to use one before when the wind was blowing, and as fast as you got the fire built up in it, the wind would cool it off before you could even get water to boil. And so that's another problem I would like to solve soon. I have my fire pit. That fire pit is a tractor trailer truck rim. That thing kicks butt. I love that thing because that rim is so, it's steel, but that rim is so whatever. In the winter, if you put a fire in it, you could actually sit near it because the fire kind of radiates out from the steel of that rim. I don't know if there's a way to like get another rim like that. But this to me sounds like welding, and I don't know how I would ever get it done. And then cut a hole out so you could put a door on it, and then put a stovepipe. To me, that makes sense. But I'd want it on legs so I don't have to bend over so much. I just, I don't know how to solve that problem yet. I don't. I thought one time that over in the area of the yard where the fire pit kind of lives, the wind comes from that direction. And I thought, that would be a really cool place to build an adobe wall and have like a half round adobe wall with a cooking fireplace and an oven built in, like even like an old school like walk-in fireplace kind of thing, and then put a partial, or I don't know. I thought about, okay, so I thought about a gazebo over in that area, It wouldn't be very big. It would be, I don't know, maybe 12 feet diameter or something. And if it was like a gazebo with a corrugated metal roof, and that half of it was the adobe wall with, like a cob oven and a grill space and a solid cooktop space, or something like the wood stoves that we had on the back patios in Costa Rica. But I can't find those stove tops that are just flat steel with the eyes in them, because I don't know if you know that for cooking on wood stove with an eye, if you want to like fry something, you take the eye off and you put the fry pan in, and because the fry pan's slanted a little bit, that it gets hotter on the bottom, and so because the fire licks the bottom of it, and it's part of how you cook on those things. I don't know where to find the top of an old wood stove that has the eyes in it still. If somebody knows where there is one that's just the top of an old wood stove, holler at me, because I think we could figure out how to build around that. But I don't know. I don't know what to do about that situation. It annoys me that I still have to contend with sand in my food. And if there's a fire ban, I'm still contending with how windy it is and everything. So I don't know. Well, I know you do, Jeremy. And a lot of people just go pew pew, right? Um, but I've had steel drum stoves before. Um, this is not about like burning trash. This is not about I want to build a really big fire. This is trying to solve the problem of being able to cook without the wind blowing the sand in our food. And during a fire ban, being enough safe so that, I mean, I know how to be safe in a fire ban. Besides that, I can cook on a fire that's on an open fire that's only this big. But it is dangerous, and we do have to be careful. But I've had company come when I was doing something little, and they're mad at me because they live here, and they're like, "But if that got away from you," well, first off, it's not getting away from me. That's why I built it this big, and there's how much sand around me. But I I just want to do something appropriate. Besides that, when I have company come visit, um, and or I start to teach classes, whichever thing happens. Got that? By the way, Jeremy, I've got a lot of hole saws too. So I have a lot of of um, of the drill bits for drilling like real holes. I don't have a welder. I don't know how to weld. I tried it. I don't like it. I can't see good enough. And my vision's a big, big thing for me. So let's see. Um, oh, Jeremy, have a good time in Sholo. I didn't see that. Tom, how's your is it Uber driving you're doing? I forgot which kind of. You're doing car based like extra work. How's that going for you? Tom bought some property in, I believe it's Williams, very close to the Grand, between the Grand Canyon and Flagstaff, and he's like his handle says, he's had a stroke, and so he, is dealing with things. Yes. And I don't want to heat up the inside of the cabin. Now, when the wood stoves are running in the winter, I got cooking down pat. That's not even an issue. I can do anything I need to do. No problem. Now I need something that's outside that won't let the wind blow the sand into it, makes it something reasonable, and where, with some, the more I describe that old idea I had of having the fireplace slash oven slash grill slash whatever area with that wall built behind it, and kind of doing it out of natural materials, like maybe building it out of cob. I've built these before. That's not even an issue. And my father was a brick mason, and his specialty was walk-in fireplaces in historic villages. It's not like I don't get this, okay? But I don't own any fire brick. I really can't afford fire brick right now. And um, I can make the cob, but in this area, monsoons are so heavy rains that the Zuni tribes build their big cob style ovens. They cover them with tarps during monsoons so they don't use them. And that's because the monsoons are strong enough that the water will actually melt away, wash away the cob. And so you've got to somehow protect it. So there's a whole. That's wonderful, Tom. Good for you. I'm glad that works for you. Um, I told you, Tom, I think I told you that I know you were kind of trying to encourage me to do something like that, but that I did double check and I was correct. I can only earn a limited amount of money until I reach retirement age. I'm on disability. And that mine was limited to a certain number per year, not per month. And because of that, I've been very careful. I can't afford to lose my check. So I got till January. And in January, some things can change. But we'll see how it works out. Right now, I'm working a little bit of a plan. Got to be a little careful. I know I never really used my 9 month trial period, but during your 9 month trial period, you have to report to somebody on the 10th of every month. And I'm not willing to do that right now. So I told them not to start the clock for me. So, so besides the fact that it's just felt like such a survival thing the last year for me personally. And then coming back here and having to make do when I didn't have all the basic everyday needs set up here. Everything. When I started this cabin thing, all my bathroom stuff, all my kitchen stuff, all my shower and stuff was all vehicle based. I didn't want it to be here. I wanted it in my car. And I was just going to pull the car up here where you could walk from the back door of one to the other. Doesn't work. Didn't work for me. So deep breath. Now I had some of these systems set up once when I had a vintage trailer here, but that didn't work really super well. I mean, it worked, but okay, honestly, when the rattlesnake got in the wall of the trailer and he was that in the wall beside the head of my bed, I was blubbery, freaking out, blubbery, scared. 3 solid months. That was not fun. That was beyond scary. And you don't want to go through that. And I couldn't find him. I couldn't get him out. We couldn't, as much work as I did to that trailer, I finally had to sell the trailer. I couldn't do it. And it's just like, well, it's just like being held hostage. Whatever the shape of the room is you were held hostage in, or vehicle, or whatever, you kind of get this. Love you too, Jer. Have a good day. Um, you kind of get this PTSD thing of you can't erase what you saw or what you experienced. You can't get it out of your head as much as you try. And when you, okay, I have found somebody dead before. When you find somebody dead, you can't get that picture out of your head. Now, you do over time, you get the, it bothers you less. But for a long time, every time you do certain things, you're like, well, I wonder if this is, you're halfway holding your breath. And so sometimes you just have to stop and say, look, okay, enough's enough. I can't do this anymore. And without getting into detail, one of the reasons I couldn't, a couple of vehicles I had, I just couldn't do any more with them than I did because I couldn't erase the stuff out of them. I know for some tow truck drivers, there's some vehicles they can't rescue. I mean, they can rescue the vehicle and get it to a trash thing, but there's some of them that's just not worth doing because not worth like selling or refurbing and turning into something else because you can't get the smell out, you can't get the whatever. So, okay, that's that. I need to end on a better note. So things are basically fine here. I hope you guys are all doing good. Bye, Tom. Have a good week. Um, I can't think of anything else I really need to say. It feels so good to, yes, yes, Beth, exactly. I'll never forget the van dweller that I took to the hospital when his wife said, "Don't take him, don't take him," and I was like, "No, this is a he needs the hospital." I took him, had to leave him for a little while in the nurse's care. Came back, and he was saying, "I just want an orange. Can I just have an orange? One little piece of orange. That's all I want." He died during the night. He never got that piece of orange. And they were saying, no, you can't have orange. It'll mess up the medication or some stupid thing, whatever, but um, yeah. And I was there with my hand on his chest when he passed. And his girlfriend couldn't handle it. And I was like, and I agree with you, Beth. It softens over time. Did I tell you guys that I found out that I can designate a piece of my property as a graveyard? That makes end of life stuff a little simpler for me, a little less expensive for my family. I'm going to look into that. That's I should put that on my list to actually like get that done. Oh. So lovely that I was able to take a shower here at home on my own time, without the stepping out of the shower room or having to hurry because there's a time limit, or stepping out and not knowing who the people are that you're going to see a few minutes after you get out of the shower, of purchasing showers. It's kind of nice. Um, and then the pile in the middle of the floor that I've been going through for months, it's down to this little stack. So I need to put a shelf above the three windows up here. That was always planned, to have one long shelf above those windows. And then I wanted this shelf brackets to be black cast iron or metal, and have them be the curtain rods as well. And that was the plan, but I can't find the curtain rod things. I would need four of them. I haven't found them, but I need to get that shelf up there because some of these items that are still down here on the floor are those top shelf items. And I have another box outside that is top shelf items, which is like the mini sewing machine thing, um, that works, but it's not perfect. Um, and then it's looking like this week. I couldn't get all the hinges for the gates, but I got the gates figured out. And then something else happened. What was it? I forgot. There you go, Beth. Oh, is Beth out of here? And Donna K. Okay. All right. Y'all be safe, Donna. Um, so what was I telling? I forgot what I was telling you. I forgot what I was telling you. Anyways, I don't know what. Oh, the gates. So I figured out all the gates. Now I was having trouble finding the hinges, and I had hinges once. So now I found two sets of hinges. I got to fix one. That might be a this afternoon, might be a tomorrow job. Um, but this afternoon, I think I'm going to do some things that are more screw based. But I think I have enough hinges now, so I can do that, finish that. Wendy can still get out the freaking gate. I thought I had it solved. She can still get out the fence. Um, oh, and I noticed I need to look it up, making another note. I need to look up how to do it. I understand you can make pignon syrup. And one of my pignon trees is loaded with little green pine cones. You okay? The little green pine cones. That one tree has more of those than any of the other trees on my property. And I have a lot of pignons. A lot of people here don't have them at all. But I've told you guys before, I'm a little bit higher elevation than most of my neighbors. Yeah, you want to go out? You've got dirt in your eyes, sweetheart. Or do you want to see the people first? So I need to look up what to do with these little pignon cones, because let me check that eye. You have gunky eye. Oh, there it comes out. Okay, you have gunky eye. That's not nice. It's not really eye snot, but there you go. Okay, that's better. That'll feel better. You've been so busy lately. You have been so busy. You've been killing rats and protecting the kitty cats. I saw you protect them this morning. I heard the coyotes, and she was real quick. She ran a circle around the cats and then sat right between them and the fence. That was funny. She's like herding cats. Pinion syrup, right? I know. I'm gonna look it up because I know it's a thing. I don't remember. But come on, I made pineapple vinegar. It's not like I don't know how to do this stuff, because I do. But I've spent a lot of years interested in it. When I was in fifth grade, maybe, I studied the history of bread. I wanted to know more, and I when I was 14, 15, I was baking 13 loaves of bread a week for my family. There were 17 people living at our house in that point. And yeah. And then, when mom and dad moved down to Virginia, I didn't go with them at first. But when I ended up down there later, then I ended up at their place eventually. There was all anyway. They were butchering animals because they had more of a gentleman's farm at that time, 5 acres, and goats and sheep and ducks and turkeys. They would plant a whole acre of watermelons and different things. And so I spent a lot of time experimenting with, butchering animals, and I couldn't kill them. I don't do well at, at, at harvesting the animal. I'm fine at butchering it after it's dead and it doesn't have fur. That's a different thing. But so I'm famous. That's my way of saying famous, but not famous for my turkey nuggets, because we didn't go to restaurants when I was growing up. So I figured out how to make. We were getting tired of eating turkey. We had so many freaking turkeys, and so we were getting a little tired. And I'd made turkey chow mein and turkey, this, that, and the other thing, turkey salads and fried turkey and yeah, every version, turkey scrapple, turkey, everything you could think of, right? And then one day I was like, what about chicken nuggets? What about turkey nuggets? Let's do turkey nuggets. So I did that. And I was kind of, for quite some time there, I was kind of known for my turkey nuggets and homemade lemonade, because they would make real lemonades and use honey. And so, anyways, all right. Yeah. Yeah. Once they're not moving, then I'm okay. I don't do something the other way. All right, guys. I think that's kind of it for today. I'm fine. Could go a little slower today. I took Sabbath off. Yes, I did. Sorry, I bumped the camera. I was online for a little short time and then played a movie. But I'm trying to get back to my old standard of no electronics on Sabbath. And often I can luxuriate in the shower or take a bath. Yes, I probably will put one of those little collapsible bathtubs, like Japanese bathtub things, in my wish list at some point. It takes a lot of water, but it would sometimes be nice on a summer Sabbath to just soak in the bathtub for a minute. So I might do that. I turned the camera around, but every time I've touched the phone today, it's something has happened. So I'm not gonna. Y'all have a wonderful week. We'll see you again next Sunday. Ciao, Bella. I don't know what else to say. Y'all have a great week. Bye.